Hello, chosen ones. Um, well, I'm very pissed off at the moment, because I just did my worst movies review, which I'm gonna do right now, but you know what, the best thing of it all? I keep on losing the vids. The webcam keeps on trying to reconnect, I lose everything. Everything. So, I will try to hurry up and try to get this uploaded as fast as I can. This is the worst movie review, worst movies of 2013. Let's start. All of this stuff came from my opinion, stuff that I have seen. So, there's not gonna be like, well, it's most of my opinion. I hope there's no sound getting in other sounds. I keep on having the same trouble every single time. On my Google Plus account, I uploaded a video for Batman Arkham Knight, but for some reason it wouldn't upload to YouTube. Because it's part of BS equipment crap. So, as you know, I'm very pissed off, and you know what will sum up for all of this? Making the worst reviews of 2013 review. So, let's get on to that. Worst soundtrack goes to Oz. Mainly because it wasn't memorable at all. Movie that could have been better. Oz. Too much dubstep award goes to the Man of Steel soundtrack. Or actually, no, it's just the Man of Steel movie. Like, you know, the huge, Zod's, Earth sucks up Earth's gravitational pull stuff, and it goes, you know, the people are running away, and then like the web it like shoots down. It's like sounds too much like dubstep, and you hear it for what, 20 minutes? The Michael Bay Award. For 2014 movies, I will probably change up these awards. But I'm definitely, the Michael Bay Award, I will definitely keep. It's one of those that I really like. It's a great award name. Okay, so, the Michael Bay Award goes to Zack Snyder, the director of Man of Steel. Good envision of Krypton, but your vision of Earth being taken over by Krypton aliens commanded by General Zod, dude, you should have just called like a segment of this film like the end of the middle to the very ending, Dubstep Party of Hell. That's all I could really come up for everything that was in that huge segment that was like 2 hours. Oh, no, that's less than that, thank you. It's more like an hour. It was, dude, those scenes were worse than Transformers Dark of the Moon. Yeah, you see people running and they get, like, blown to bits, but you see, like, Superman destroying basically the city. Dude, if Superman never went to Earth, there would be no such thing as Man of Steel, plus Zod, the Kryptons, none of those guys would have been there and killed us. Humans, not technically us, but, you know, yeah, you get it, I hope. Worst adaptation, Hobbit Part 2. This has nothing to do with the book. The lead girl character, she was not worth it to put in there. Yes, I know, she was BA, my sister liked her, she thought that was her favorite Lord of the Rings female character. I have to say that the girl from Return of the King who kills the Witch King still owns it. She still owns it as best BA Lord of the Rings character that's a female. But there's just too much parts that is nothing like the book. Yeah, it kind of follows its order, but like when they like try to kill Smaug, or whatever they want to call him, they used gold. They did it totally differently. I was like, what? And then there was like the lake town. Those official guys were there. I don't really recognize those officials, like the governors, and they portrayed Bard the Bowman awfully. Bard was a hero, not an outcast. Like, everyone thought that Bard was really just like an outsider because his dad was the one who was, spoiler alert, trying to kill Smaug with the black arrow, and you find out that Bard still has those black arrows. The guy who played Bard did a good job of what stupid Peter Jackson did, but I have to say, Hobbit Part 2, it's really the Two Towers for me. Return of the King is still my #1 favorite Lord of the Rings film, aka J.R. Tolkien films, ever. Then it's the Fellowship of the Ring. Then it's gotta be. I have to give it to Hobbit Part 1. It's just such a. It was just the way it was really. I was really hoping it to be as close as perfect to the book, and be a great introduction, and it would make you feel like you're returning back to that amazing place that took place in the early 2000s. It was great. It made me go back home and just write all this like fan fiction of a Hobbit. And then when I saw the second one, I was just like, was this seriously necessary? You had so much potential for the second one. It could have been better than the Fellowship of the Ring. But now I'm on the edge. I hope the third part is a game changer. I hope it will be either as good or better than the Fellowship of the Ring. And it needs to tie up certain points to bring up Lord of the Rings, like Gimli. They'll need to talk about that more, and the rings and all that other stuff. The Silmarillans. Something I was gonna talk about, which was The Hobbit, but I can't really remember it, and I don't want my webcam to just reconnect again. So I'm gonna continue on. Worst villain goes to Thor 2 as Malekith. Dude, that guy sucked. He's like up there with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. And honestly, I have to say Mr. Freeze is better. Worst hero, not hero movie, comic book movie. Like, who was the worst hero? Like, yes, from a comic book movie. And that goes to Iron Man 3. Yeah, he saves the president, kind of, but that was really Iron Patriot. Yet they find out about the vice president being evil or something. And then those villains. It was really just Iron Man fighting for himself, and then instead of like fighting for the world. That's another reason why I did not like this film, was because you could take it as RDJ's own movie minus all the suits. That's another thing. The suits. There was like 30 minutes without suits, like a space. Just for, I know, yeah, just to put in some plot and stuff in there. But there's no suits. What's so good about Iron Man is that he's in suits. And spoiler alert, at the very end, Iron Man cures himself somehow and takes out his disc. What's the point? They're gonna kill off RTJ now. They have to, because now there's nothing else for him to do. Yes, he's creating Ultron, and I hate that idea. Thank you, Joss Whedon. And they really need to put out Ant-Man before Age of Ultron. Or they could have Ant-Man after Age of Ultron, but when you go see Ant-Man, it will be feeling like a Phase 2 film. Plus, will RDJ die by Ultron? Because, you know, Ultron is the villain. He's like the Terminator. He's like the Terminator of the Marvel franchise of comics. He turns against his own master, who is Ant-Man, but really, it's Iron Man now. I bet he will, but he's so big, like RDJ. He's so big, and he's famous big. But is he in like lots of movies, like all the time? Is he like in at least one movie per year? No. What are they gonna do? What's he gonna do when they kill him off? What's he gonna do? Yeah, he's got Sherlock Holmes. That's Warner Brothers. It's not Disney or anything like that. But there's nothing really else. Could they make a new franchise with RDJ in it? But it's like not Marvel at all. Yeah, they can. You know, like anything really. Like a comedy franchise. That's, you know, you just get it from the mind. Be creative, everybody. Worst box office goes to Lone Ranger. Enough said for that. I think it's safe to say everyone knew that Lone Ranger was bad in the box office. Talk more about that in my best movies of 2013. Worst comedy. Movie 43. Too many actors. Could have been good. It was retarded. It was just retarded. It was just stupid, unappropriate. Yeah, it's unappropriate, but it's to the point that the inappropriate jokes are just stupid. It's just, yeah, I can see some people liking the film, but like 9% of those who've seen it, maybe 5. I hated that movie, I have to say. But worst sci-fi. I had to go with Thor 2. Just what this is about is just the film itself, not certain awards will be, you know, based upon storyline or stuff like that. The reason why I went with Thor 2, it's science fiction, but yet there's God and stuff like that. And then Wonder Woman. Please, Zack Snyder, if you're just checking out random people's channels and you're like, ooh, look, worst movies of 2013, and you see Man of Steel on here a lot, please continue watching this part right now. Because for Man of Steel 2, do not have Wonder Woman change her origin story. The whole Athena and the the Amazon rainforest stuff, keep it. Thor and Asgard stuff is more campier than Wonder Woman. Dude, plus Wonder Woman, honestly, would kick Thor's butt any day, even with her bare hands. You know, if she gets the lasso of truth, and he gets the Mjolnir, who's gonna win? Wonder Woman. She has a lasso. She can freaking strangle Thor to death with it. Yeah, Thor has a father who's the All-Father Odin. Well, Athena is the follower, not Athena, Wonder Woman is the follower of Athena, and Athena's very close friends with Zeus. Zeus versus Odin. Who the frick is gonna win? Before Thor came out, would anyone really know who Odin really was? But would some people know who Zeus was? Who do you think would win? Zeus. Really? Keep her origin story. Do not make her Kryptonian. Do you hear me, Zack Snyder? Do not make her Kryptonian. She's an Amazon rainforest princess. You need to make it close to the comics as possible, but yet to the plot, feeling, and mood that you want it to be, and keep it good. I want Man of Steel 2 to be good, not bad. I am a DC fan. This is the one movie that I am #1 anticipating for 2016. The biggest film. This needs to work out good. A B- to an A film. That's all I want. Do not give me the same Man of Steel stuff. Yes, you can have some destruction in there, but only if it's only in the end for 10 minutes. Keep it small. Keep really good plot points. That's one of the reasons why I think they're kind of going with that plot, because they postponed it to 2016 for plots. Speculation for that theory, rumor. I think that's true. If that really is the case, good. You guys need to work on the story, definitely. And I hope Justice League will be a good movie, so, yeah. Okay, so worst writing, Iron Man 3. Just the way it went, I did not like it. And it wasn't, yeah, some of it had to do with, well, one thing had to do with the comic book element to it. I won't spoil it, even though it was stupid. And I probably already did back there, you know, in the past, and like probably 5 minutes in. But, it was just awful. I couldn't stand Iron Man 3. Worst plot goes to, sorry Zack Snyder if you're watching, but it has to go to Man of Steel. The plot was unorganized. It was along there with the Michael Bay film like Transformers 2. The writing wasn't bad. The writing involves everything. For those of you who are watching, don't get writing mixed up with the plot. The writing involves the plot, but the writing also has characters, moods, feelings, theme, all that, dialogue, even one-liners, great, just like great dialogue, you know, like Amazing Spider-Man, first one, the chemistry with Gwen Stacy and Peter, amazing. That's one of the best comic book. It's one of the best comic book chemistries I've ever movie I've ever seen. It's crazy good. You believe it. You can just see the teenagers just reacting if they were real. That's what the film's all about. You want to imagine it. That's why the films were made originally. They were made to put you in the story. Okay? And yes, this can possibly go to Expendables 3. People, yeah, they're seeing a film with a mashup of action stars. But maybe you guys can, like, find a good, decent plot. It would help out a lot. You guys will get good reviews from many different critics. Worst supporting actress. I'm sorry, guys. This is all over 20 minutes, but this is actually better than some other guys' channels. The Hobbit Part 2, Toriel Chick. Worst supporting actress. Thank you. Worst supporting actor goes to Christopher Eccleston, who played Malekith in Thor: The Dark World. Stupid clown. Not literally clown, just stupid. Worst actress, Natalie Portman. She didn't have good chemistry. I couldn't feel it. I couldn't believe it also. It reminded me just like the prequels chemistry, which was awful. Oh, and plus, Natalie Portman was in the prequels. Job well done! Sorry. That sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Try to make that as your ringtone, because that could be really cool. Just saying. Okay. But, worst actor goes to Chris Hemsworth. I know I'm having Thor 2 a lot on here, but I really think that, it just wasn't a good movie. I could see it, yeah, as a TV show, just like an episode. Just like, just hour long, not like those normal 48 minutes. 40 to 48, 50, you know, and it just, like, just 1 hour, because there are certain parts that you couldn't really cram in there. Worst horror film, this film is not a horror, sorry if that comes up bad, guys, I'm trying not to make anything sound like I'm cussing, but when I saw this, I either saw it in 3D or not, and something's telling me I did. But that's not the reason why I didn't like it. This movie was rated PG. Yes, it said, like, disturbing elements or something like that. This movie was undoubtedly should have been a PG-13 rating. This is a Hollywood fail. When you take something that used to be a classic and then make a prequel to it, and you know, for those of you who know what it's like to see prequels and compare it to originals, it's never as good. For example, Star Wars, you know, the prequel movies suck. Yeah, the first two were bad. Third one improved very well. Thank you. Thank you so much, George Lucas. It wasn't even classified as a horror film, but when I saw it, it didn't scare me, it didn't jump scare me, or, you know, it was just like cringe, and my mom had it too, because I actually had my elbow and my part of my arm right next to her, and I could feel her shivering, not like, just like getting cold, kind of, not more. And kids were getting their parents and exiting the theater. It was bad. I could hear parents saying, "It's just a movie, son/daughter, whatever you are to me." They were screaming. It was awful. Like, yeah, I know this film was a horror, like the original was a horror back in the day, but the thing is, the original is a classic, but what you've got here is utter junk. It's baloney, garbage, no reason why to watch it. Yeah, I can see some people, like a large percent of people, liking this film. That's only because They don't focus on plot. And plus, they probably watched at their home instead of the theater. I am never watching this movie ever again. And if you're thinking that I didn't tell you what the title was, good, because that's what I've been doing. Been revealing it, leading it up. That film is worst horror film. Oz. Pain in the butt. I had a popcorn bowl that said the PG rating on it. Just to let you know, you guys, I ripped the popcorn bowl thing up. It was just like plastic. I found a way to rip it open. Just like destroy it. It was just bad. It was not the popcorn bowl. Well, the imprint and stuff like that. The design was cool, but the movie sucked. Worst comic book movie goes to Iron Man 3. Man of Steel, I can't really give it to that because of it was an introduction. And introductions, you can get them bad, you can get them good. And that's the thing with Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, for example. You know, people were like, "Oh my God, what?" And then, yeah, you're probably sitting in a corner being like, "Jar Jar's in my head everywhere. Get out of my head!" Ah! And then you've got, like the best part was the last 5 minutes with Darth Maul. That was the best part. And it's at the very end, and the movie's over 2 hours. I had to give it to Iron Man 3. I had high hopes, kind of, for this film. I'm just gonna spoil why. It was nothing like the comic book origins type, whatever, like, plot, storyline to the Mandarin. Bad job, you guys. You could have just killed Iron Man. And you know what the weird thing is? There's still a large majority that actually like the film. First of all, they made it too much like Dark Knight. Sooner or later, Marvel, DC is going to be pissed off and on a rage mode, and they're going to make you get pissed off. You better watch out, because DC has been too neutral to you guys. You guys got Stan Lee, and he actually allowed to copy off of DC, like, for how many characters? Let's say over 9,000. Even bands of heroes. The only reason why I like Marvel is for Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my number one. And X-Men. That's it. Anyone on X-Men. The Avengers, not at all. Actually, Ant-Man. That's it. That's it. Oh, Black Panther. It's just these characters that just come popping out of my head certain times. That's it. Iron Man 3 for worst comic book movie. Thank you, Marvel. Worst animated movie. This movie had cliches all over it from other movies, not including animated. But there were certain plot points I didn't like. I did, not didn't. It kind of sounded like didn't, somehow. The other two choices were ones I did like. I only saw 3 anime movies this year. One of them I did not see in theaters, and this was that one. I saw Despicable Me. I've seen Despicable Me, Frozen, Monsters U. I saw Monsters U in theaters. I liked it. It's not anything compared to Monsters Incorporated, but it's still a good film. You know, It was a really good prequel. It was lucky. It went lucky. I wouldn't call Monsters U a C plus film. I would call it a B minus, mainly because most of the cast was back. That's huge. No one really does that, including Toy Story. It was either Tom Hanks or Tim Allen when returned for Toy Story 3 or Toy Story 2, so they got lucky with it. Despicable Me was fun. It was fun. I have to say that was my favorite animated. But my least favorite was Frozen. Frozen, all the way. I did not like it. It was too cliche. If I have to give it a letter grade, it would be a D. Yeah, it's got princesses in it. It wasn't. I'm not concerned that it's got princesses in it, guys. I watch films. I will watch anything. Drag me in a romance film or whatever, women. I'll watch it. It's fine. I like to watch films. Yeah, there's certain romance movies that I will think that are really good, but they're mostly from the 80s, 90s, or 70s. Nowadays, romance films aren't really all that good. Honestly, maybe because you're putting Adam Sandler in too much stuff, or other stupid comedians in too much stuff. But, worst animated went to Frozen. There was small certain plot points that I did like. I did. It was the characters, the plot twists, kind of. That was good. I did like the fact that the movie did run on a plot, and you know, it wasn't musical non-stop. Like you finally hear people talking like normal instead of going, you know, just kind of like normal. I don't think much musicals do that anyway. Like, have like very, very small dialogue that's, just like in sentences. Like, it's not like a narrator, it's actually the characters talking. They're mostly always like 50% of the film talking. More like, no, 60 to 75%, are just normally talking. Worst picture. Nominees are Man of Steel 2, Thor 2, Iron Man 3, Frozen, Oz, and Movie 43. The winner of our first worst movies is Oz. I could not stand that film at all. I actually saw Movie 43, I think, from a home. It was just like someone was watching it, just watching certain parts of it. It would be the runner-up. Like, at least Movie 43 had good actors in it, but yet they still didn't do a good job. Movie 43, yeah, it was a bomb. It was comedy. It was stupid. But it's Oz. It had too much. It had too much potential. That's what made it the bomb. The bomb means bad. Whenever I say box office hit, that means good. Just saying. Those are going to be my reviews for normal movies. I'm trying to wrap this up for 35 minutes. Sorry, you guys, if you got bored or anything. And I hope there's not any bad background sounds. There shouldn't be. I'm not seeing it on the bar whenever I'm not talking. Yeah, it's not really. But I thought Oz was a fail, and you should never let Sam Raimi direct something that has too much potential in it. So, comment below like, subscribe, give me some shout outs, give me some news of anything that you know of so far, and I'll go check it out, see if it's true. If it's a rumor, then I will include it. And please, have your account name or something, or if you just have like your full name there, I'll just use your first name and just an initial of your last name. I won't put any full names out there due to safety concerns. I don't want you guys feeling like there's some child molester or something like that on the web and he's watching our videos or something like that, or just like weird people, you know. But this was Worst Movie Reviews. I am Neo. You are watching Chosen Ones. Thank you for watching.